So on the bench here is the Camduck-007. Now, I'm not talking about James Bond or anything here, but this is actually a hidden surveillance camera that they sent me, and actually it's one that I requested because they gave me a variety to choose from. And this one kind of mimics the look of a smoke detector. Some of the other ones they have on there can plug into outlets and basically give you USB ports and stuff to charge your phone while integrating a little hidden camera inside of that. Now obviously it goes without saying not to use these for nefarious purposes like putting them in your Airbnb space or things like that, because I think you're going to have a bit of a problem with privacy issues. So yeah, just you'll use this for security and stuff like that. But I have a purpose for this, which I'll show a little bit later in the video, where I want to install this. So let's open the box. So we get our little user manual, which pretty much tells us how to install it and set it up, and also the QR code for finding the app, which I already have on my iPad. And then here they actually give us a mounting template, so this is kind of convenient. So when you want to put this up on your ceiling or even a wall or wherever you're going to put it, this will tell you where the holes are and where the cutouts are for the wiring that comes out on this, and we'll see why that is in a second. So here is the actual unit. I'll put that to the side, and then we'll get this part of the box out of the way so we can get to the accessories underneath. Put that to the side. So they give us a little spudger, and we'll see what that's for in a little bit. We have a USB microSD card reader. Now this didn't come with a microSD card, but you could put one in there, and that will locally save recordings onto the card in there. So you can take the card out and put it in here. And here is some mounting screws along with anchors for mounting the base. And then we have a USB 3, surprisingly, C cable. So we'll see what that is for a second too. So let's go ahead and get the actual unit out of the wrap here. And here's what it looked like. Now, as I said, it mimics a smoke detector, but it doesn't function as a smoke detector. Again, this functions solely as a hidden camera masquerading as a smoke detector. Now, the neat thing about this, and part of the reason why I chose it, is this has a little motor in it, and it can rotate 360 degrees. So as I see, I can hold the base there in the camera. That's one end, and it can turn around all the way to the other stop. So it gives us a full 360 degree view wherever we mount this. So on the top here is basically our on-off switch, our microphone, and of course here we have a little bit of an input as well. And on here is where our camera is, but we also have a red and blue LED. The red LED is our power, and the blue represents our Wi-Fi connection. It supports 2.4 and 5 gigahertz networks, so it gives you plenty of options for which band you want to use. And of course here is our mounting plate, and we can just twist it off like that to unlock the mounting plate. And as you see, we've got our cutouts there. So this little area here is for our spudger that we had. This is where we will have both our USB-C connection for a cable, which can supply power to it, and also where we can install our micro SD card. Now the other features about this is that this has a built-in 18650 battery, which we can see from the cover here with the little pull tab to enable it. So this gives the hidden camera a couple of hours of battery backup if it loses primary power, whether from the USB-C connection or from this part here. This is actually where you can wire this into a 120 volt circuit up in your ceiling, which is what I plan to use in the future, and that will of course keep the unit powered up and also keep the battery charged in case of a power failure, where again the battery will take over. So let me show you real quick what the intention is there, where I want to put this Camduck-007. So I'm in a detached garage here, and my intention is to mount the camera up on one of these rafters here, and that way it'll provide a nice overview kind of looking this way, but also be able to look around inside the garage here. And I'll have to run some electrical wire to the outlet box from the garage door opener there back to around this area, and that shouldn't be too hard for that. So that's the game plan that I have for where I'm going to use this camera. So as you saw from that short clip, yeah, putting it in the detached garage there. So to get it mounted on the rafters, I'm actually going to have to measure this, and I've got a 3D printer, so I'm going to make a special mount that will be able to attach to the rafter, and then this will be able to attach to that and be able to be mounted to it. But that'll all come up in a follow-up video along with the 120 volt wiring for that. So for now, let's go ahead and pop this part open here so we can see where our SD card and USB-C connections are. And it looks like we have a little reset hole there in case the camera locks up. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is pull the tab for our 18650 battery. So that connects the battery inside there. And I'm just going to use a little USB adapter here, and we're going to plug it in and let it charge up some. And while it's doing that, we will look at the application and get that set up on this device. So, plug it in. Okay, I see it's actually a little indicator light. I don't know if the camera was able to pick that up or not, but it had a little red indicator come through there. And we can actually see that it's on. So we have the red blinking light, so that indicates our power, and then blue indicates that it is actively looking for a Wi-Fi connection. So let's go ahead and get to the app. So I got my screen recording going on my iPad here, so let me bring up the Camduck app. Yeah, sure, let's look at notifications, bring that a little bigger. So we'll click start. Yes, allow while using app. Okay, I found one camera, Camduck-007, so that must be the one we're looking for. So let's go ahead and tap that. During setup, camera only supports routers 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi. After setup, the phone can connect to the 5.8 Wi-Fi or use mobile data. Hidden camera. And this should be telling the camera what Wi-Fi to use. So I guess we're going to use it on 2.4 after all. Oh, and now it looks like it's got it there. Let's see. Let's see what it does. Affected by laws, rules, in some states, camera could open anywhere to consider blah blah. Yeah, so that's kind of the one or two party consent rule for recording audio. Yeah. So right now the camera is basically looking at toward the ceiling. Let's see, the 4 megapixel. What's that? 1080. I hear the 4 megapixel setting's a little better. So of course let's try the PTZ functions. Okay, so that's turned all the way. Now we're looking at the other side of the bench. I notice I can press that and it tried to keep going. Okay, I got to stop that time. We need to reorient the camera for what it's like. Of course, it's really meant to be mounted like this, the way I'm holding it. Then we have our workbench there. Okay, so for the way it's turning, the PTZ is reversed in this orientation, because if I tell it to go right, it's going left. So I'm going to have to reverse that function on the camera somehow. I can see battery status in the top right there. It's got the correct date and time. Let's see. Function. This is DXY. Let's see. Put this down for a second. But that is the camera for you now. I know that this camera does not have, from my understanding, any night vision capability. Turn the light off. So yeah, it had to change its orientation. So let's see. Alexa, turn off the lights. So now the lights are off. So the only light the camera is seeing in here right now is basically coming from background devices. So depending if there's enough ambient light, it can probably amplify it, but there is no infrared light coming out. I wonder if it's, yeah, of course it sees the infrared being emitted by that camera. So yeah. And of course we can see the little red light I was talking about on this camera here for the charging. So let's see. Alexa, turn on the lights. And now we got our lights back. Back. So yeah, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for this unboxing and quick demo of the Camduck-007 hidden camera. Again, it's masquerading as a smoke detector, doesn't actually function as one, but as I say, we're going to install it in the detached garage there, and we'll, in a separate video, we'll see how it works there. Hey guys, Brian here. Do me a favor and click that like button down below, and while you're at it, go ahead and click the subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any new content when I post it. See you guys in the next one.